This is the Eastern Business Report, where we look at the business ecosystem in the Eastern region and discuss topics affecting the region's economy. But first, let's take a look at some of the major business and development stories making headlines across the Southeast, beginning here in Enugu State, where Governor Peter Mbah of Enugu State has been urged to strike a balance between revenue growth, infrastructure development, and poverty reduction in order to make citizens feel the real impact of governance. The advice was contained in a statement by the Enugu State 2023 governorship candidate of the African Action Congress, Ray Obodo, following his assessment of the trajectory of development under Mbah's administration. In a statement signed by his media aide, Mr. Azubike Afam, Obodo noted there was no doubt that Enugu has witnessed increased revenue and accompanying infrastructure development in the state. But the former governorship flag bearer claimed the growth in revenue has not been matched with reduction in poverty index, saying there is worsening hardship and rising poverty after 32 months in office. He made it known that his scrutiny of the present Enugu State government was born out of a deep sense of responsibility, and not just as a political opponent, but as a stakeholder, a former governorship candidate, and a citizen rather compelled by conscience and reality. Moving to Anambra State, where in a bold move aimed at restoring normalcy and boosting economic confidence, Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo on Monday visited and shopped at the historic Onitsha Main Market, a visit that marks a significant departure from the long-standing Monday sit-at-home observance, which has crippled commercial activities across the state and the Southeast in general for nearly 5 years. Accompanied by top government officials and security personnel, Governor Soludo arrived at the bustling market, interacting freely with traders, customers, and market leaders, and purchasing local goods including fabrics and food items, while emphasizing the importance of reviving the region's economic heartbeat. The Monday sit-at-home order, initially introduced by separatist groups in 2021 as a form of civil disobedience, has led to massive economic losses, disrupted livelihood, and instilled fear among residents. Despite repeated cancellation by the groups, compliance had remained widespread due to security concerns and enforcement by rogue elements. Governor Soludo, in an address to the crowd, hailed the return to normalcy as a victory for resilience and collective will, stressing that the Anambra are taking back their day, their economy, and future as the day marks an end to the sit-at-home. Meanwhile, security agencies have intensified patrols and surveillance across the state to ensure safety, with reports indicating a significant drop in compliance with the sit-at-home order. Moving to Imo State, where a 2-day Southeast Progressive Digital Media Summit, designed as a strategic platform to strengthen digital media engagement, promote responsible communication, deepen progressive participation in governance and nation building across the Southeast, is set to be held on February 11 and 12 in Owerri, the Imo State capital. The summit, with the theme, The Critical Role of Digital Media in Enhancing National Integration of the Southeast, is consequent upon a presidential directive for a replication of the National Progressive Digital Media Summit held in August last year. Ambrose Nwogwu, Senior Special Assistant to Governor Hope Uzodimma, disclosed this to newsmen in Owerri at a joint press briefing with representatives of all the Southeast states. According to Nwogwu, the principal objective of the summit, expected to be graced by APC governors of the Southeast, the national chairman of the APC, Professor Netawe Yilwada, members of the Federal Executive Council from the Southeast, among others, is to mobilize coordinated, disciplined, and positive digital media support for the progressive governors of the Southeast. Nwogwu added that the presidency progressive administration, through structured engagement, capacity build-up, and message alignment, equally informed the proposed summit. Moving to Abia State, where Abia State's Governor Alex Oti has announced that the state is no longer affected by power outages arising from repeated collapse of Nigeria's national grid, following new investment in renewable energy generated from organic waste. The governor made the disclosure while speaking to journalists at the government house in Umuahia. Uti explained that his administration has begun converting waste materials into biogas, which is then used to generate electricity for residents, adding that the development has effectively removed Abia from the regulatory control of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. According to him, the new power arrangement has been successfully negotiated with and accepted by the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, which oversees electricity distribution in the state. His remarks, however, come against the backdrop of another failure of the national grid, which collapsed for the second time in 2026 on Tuesday, plunging several parts of the country into darkness. Now from Akwa State, where the Akwa State Governor, Pastor Emo has commended the state-owned airline Ibom Air for their maintaining standards and quality service delivery. According to the governor, who gave the commendation on his arrival at the Victor Atta International Airport, expressed satisfaction at the airline's impressive standard and sustained excellence, which has enabled it to become a symbol of emulation for other airlines in the country. Governor Eno, who had boarded Ibom Air from the VAIA with other passengers who were fortunate to receive various fabulous gifts from the people-centric leader, addressed the privileged passengers on board and thanked them for their consistent patronage of the airline. The governor therefore promised the passengers that Ibom Air will keep providing quality services in line with international standard and assured of the state's government's continued support for the airline and also its readiness to make the VAIA one of the best in the country. And finally, the former Nigerian ambassador to Russia and senior advocate of Nigeria, Assam, has said the long-running dispute between Akwa Ibom and Cross River State over offshore oil wells is not caused by unclear boundaries, but by disagreement arising from revenue mobilization effort tied to newly identified oil wells. Assam recently made that clarification in an interview as the Revenue Mobilization, Location and Physical Commission attempts to broker a resolution to the dispute. According to him, the conflict dates back more than 2 decades and was reignited by the discovery and the location of new oil wells, not the original 76 wells frequently referenced in public discussions. He traced the origins of the dispute to June 1999 when Cross River State approached the Supreme Court seeking a declaration that 76 oil wells located in the estuary of the Cross River fell within its maritime territory. He further explained that entitlement to oil-derived revenue depends strictly on whether such coordinates fall within a state-recognized territory. However, by acknowledging Cross River State's right to contest the finding, Assam insisted that the solution lies in technical verification, not political argument. We're going on a quick break, and when we return, we'll bring you a report from our correspondent in Anambra. Please stay with us.